Earlier in the week, Valve had said that they were going to be making a statement about their recent censorship movement against games trying to get onto Steam and the ones that were already on Steam. Because developers have been shut down with very vague descriptions of the problems that they are currently having on Steam with their games not being able to get on the platform. And developers are having an awful time with this. This is borderline harassment towards developers when you refuse to put their game on a platform when it isn't breaking a policy and you give them such vague answers as to why it got taken down, which is the problem that a lot of games and a lot of people are currently facing with Steam. Valve was supposed to be making a statement later in the week, as they said. You know, the world does revolve around Valve time, of course. And they backed out because they didn't give an initial date, they didn't show up during the week, and now it's Monday. But yesterday, on Sunday, the beginning of a new week, which is great, a developer had actually released a statement on the recent issues. Well, the thing with this is that it was off record, so this isn't even keeping the promise that they had initially made, so just take that with a grain of salt. This is an interview that someone from Valve did do, but it is, you know, off the record, so it's not technically what they said that they were going to be giving us. To me, this really does speak novels on how much they respect their developers, which they seem to not. I mean, it is just so disrespectful to disregard people and companies that are using your platform to continue or start their journey in gaming. How do you expect them to do 1 million in sales or 5 million in sales when they can't get their game on your platform because it's not even breaking any terms or policies that you've set up? Starting off, the developer said that Valve will be continuing to scrutinize games that currently take place in high school settings, and also child exploitation due to there being so many legal issues with the gray areas when it comes to if they're in a school setting and if the characters are above 18, even if it's a university setting. Because the thing is a lot of the games that they have currently been censoring, a lot of people have said, or the developers, the creators of the games have said that they are above 18. This is a university setting, but they go, nope, that's a gray area, it's still a school, doesn't count. The problem is there's not a method to their madness here. They have not been consistent with their regulations and in their policies, and so many games are becoming restricted. I had previously done a video on Sony restricting games, so that will be linked down below and above in the cards, so make sure to check that out, please. But ones that are even already on Steam too, they're trying to censor at this point. This goes directly against what they said about a year ago when it came to updating their content policy that they had done. I mean, they need to have a line between what's nudity and what's exploitation and what is more. They haven't done that yet. Because even though it goes in the adult tag games, it's obvious when these are coming to Steam, there's some sort of problem with employees and their personal taste. I didn't want to bring this up, but it has been pretty obvious that there are employees that are going more above business and feel that they're more above business and that have actually been taking in their personal flavor to this. Because denying half of these games doesn't follow the guidelines that they've actually changed. They are very scarce with information given to the developers when it comes to why their games are taken down or why their games won't even get on the platform, and use the excuse because it's all due to gray areas. And there are a lot of gray areas. I understand laws can be very difficult and very challenging, and you want to make sure that you are following those laws and presenting them in a proper manner. I do 100% get that. But they've never even mentioned these gray areas before now that they're trying to cover up their asses. And even though specific people might not like these games, we can't let them thought police them. Because every sort of game has its place on the market and has an audience that will purchase these titles. Some of these games they've taken down have gotten great reviews because the art style might be a little bit too risque, but they're games. Games that are pieces of artwork that people appreciate, that someone creates. I do understand it. But if they're tagged properly, half of these games aren't even rated M, they're rated T, which is technically like 15 and up instead of the 17 and up. They all have ratings, but the ratings are proper, and as long as you are rating them properly, putting adult tags on them, putting into the proper content spots, this shouldn't be a problem. This really worries me a lot because adult games also aren't allowed on the Epic Games Store like we previously had thought they would be able to, so that pushes away the idea of having an alternative platform for these people. I mean, so Steam is really one of the only platforms that they can put these games on. And I do also want to go over something else really quickly that this developer said, which is really, really meaningful in my opinion, so let's just get into that really quickly. So they also said, for sure there were many missteps surrounding sexual content, especially in Valve's lack of clear communication with developers. Part of that is due to there being a lack of a clear policy, part of that being internal confusion about how to handle certain things, and then just, not going to argue how sometimes Valve did just a plain bad job. Hopefully with the Sept change things can improve, not trying to excuse the inconsistencies, but understanding where the subsequent breakdowns happen will address issues in the implementation side of things. Everyone wins if there is no confusion. It's sad to even see developers speaking like this, admitting there's a lot of problems with the relationship between Valve and between developers. I understand it can be rough going through policy changes, figuring out those new gray areas that might be brought up more and more each year with business, but they just can't make up their minds, and it's hurting the future of Steam. And I really do hope that they limit what these employees are doing, maybe giving them guidelines, of course making sure they're following guidelines properly, not using gray areas as excuses, and in 2019 we will see less censorship from Valve. I 100% am against censorship. I do not believe in it. You can go and check out my previous Sony video like I had mentioned. But I do not think that all of this censoring that has happened in 2018 is even viable. I don't even think it's valid. I think a lot of it is just excuses, and it's just them trying to make more family-friendly platforms when that's not what your platform is, and that is not even the guidelines that you have set up for your platform. You have to go with what your platform is, and I get it. Not everyone has the taste for these games. Not everyone has the taste for their settings, for their stories, for their art style, but that doesn't mean you can just thought police it and just push it to the side and say, nope, you can't be on this platform, unless that is your ban, unless you have a company-wide ban of adult content or content like this. So that is all for today. I'm really disappointed that Valve didn't technically give an update, and this was from someone inside of Valve that was off the grid, but if there's any update to this, 100% I will let you guys know. If you like the censorship videos that I have been doing, and you like that I'm talking about censorship and how important it is in the community, make sure to give this video a like, and if you just didn't like this video, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either which way. Make sure to subscribe. There are links down below in case you want to help support the channel more, but I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys again really soon. Hey there, thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video. You should click that subscribe button, and there are plenty of ways to show support to the channel, such as following me on Twitter, joining the Dark Titans Discord server, or even chipping in on Patreon and becoming a Dark Titan yourself. I'll see you all in the next video.